Segment 2, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org. Check us out. On YouTube, you can catch all of our shows. We're way over 100,000 shows have been watched. Thank you. Caps24.org. We're real big on community policing. You really need to come to the meetings to find out what's happening in your neighborhood. In my beat, as an example, you will find that we have a couple of new beat policemen in 2412, and it'd be good to meet them and for them to know you. And that way, if you see them on the street or ever have a problem, you'd be surprised how much this stuff really helps. Not to mention you can get a true version of what's happening in the neighborhood as opposed to the soiled version that so many people like to spread. That it's not so much that it's soiled. People don't know the real facts about what's going on in the neighborhood. Our neighborhood, thank God, has been pretty peaceful. Doesn't matter if faces are changing. The crime rate has been very, very low. Things are peaceful. Things are good. Is there absolutely zero crime? No, there never will be in any neighborhood. It's not the way the world is. But come to your community policing meetings. Go to caps24.org in West Rogers Park, and a little bit of Edgewater. Or citywide, call 311 to find out where your community policing meeting is. One of my favorite and most frequent guests is a hospice chaplain for the Midwest, how do you say it? Should have looked it up first. The Midwest Palliative and Hospice Care Center, Rabbi Pinchas Eisenbach. Rabbi Eisenbach, how you doing?
Thank you.
And first of all, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it, and you always enlighten us about all kinds of different things. So what is it you'd like to address us about today?
I would like to address today about two things that we work with all kinds of different hospice patients, and many people are not aware. They don't have information about Medicare benefits. Anyone that's 65 and older is eligible for hospice. Doesn't matter where you live, rich or poor, anyone can benefit a lot.
Right, now let's explain to us, because some people might not know what a hospice does. What does a hospice basically do?
A hospice does for terminally ill patients who live less than 6 months, or sometimes they live more or less, that the last few months of their lives, we make sure they are comfortable. And not only comfortable, we have a nurse, we have a social worker, we have a CNA, we have a doctor. We work as an interdisciplinary team where people make sure not only the patient is comfortable, we include the family members, we include the clergy, whether they're Jewish or not, to make sure that everyone is on the same page.
Okay, very good. Now, of course, the Midwest Palliative Hospice and Healthcare Center is a nonprofit organization.
Correct.
Okay, and you serve a lot of people.
Yes, we do.
Okay, and so let's talk about what you want to talk about today.
So I just want to mention that, just to show about the Medicare benefits, that everyone who's 65 and over have any questions, let us call us, and we'll give more information.
Right, and that number is 847. Go ahead.
847-467-7423.
Okay, and yeah, this is all nonprofit stuff, and it's government benefits, and should be taken advantage if you're in the unfortunate position of needing this sort of help.
And some people are ashamed or they don't know how to ask. The door is always open, and you can always call, and we will try to help you in any way.
Very good. So.
Then I also want to mention regarding that when we deal with illness and when we deal with sick patients, especially we're going to have now the holiday of Passover and soon of Shavuot, of the Ten Commandments, that people are usually very vulnerable and also lonely. They don't know, should I bring my dad or should I bring my mom to the house? Because look, the grandchildren are going to say, he doesn't talk no more. Look how he looks. He's on oxygen. His face looks a little odd, or he might say something that doesn't make sense. And people feel more depressed when it comes to the holidays. So how do we deal with the children, the family, and also the loved ones? Because it's always good to have a family dynamics to show, look, you once had a grandfather, you had a grandmother. Because some people don't remember after half a year, I don't even remember my grandfather or my grandmother. Look, I come to the Seder, to the Passover Seder. I ask the questions, and Grandpa can smile. He's going to Shep Nachas, which means I'm going to enjoy. Look, my grandchild is asking the 4 questions. Or my granddaughter is going to sing and ask the 4 questions. And that's very important to have, not only on a holiday or on a Sabbath, even during the week, that sometimes to bring the children or grandchildren. For example, in the nursing home where I go, different places, when they bring the grandchildren, I want to tell you, they love it. They cannot say too much word. They cannot express how much they enjoyed it. It's hard for them to express, but guess what? The children enjoy them too. Then they ask me, Grandma or grandfather is sick? I said, yeah, he's a little ill today.
Yeah.
But little step by step, we educate them to be aware of the good and the bad. And that's very important.
So let me ask you, one of the things I'm curious about, do you think when the kids go in and they see, their grandfather, grandmother in a debilitated state and much iller than they might have seen him before, do you think it causes it's a negative thing or it's a positive thing?
We have to do it real diligently in a professional way.
Yeah.
Before we do it, we have a social worker and myself, and we ask also the family, talk to the children to make sure that it's not going to affect them.
Yeah.
That they're comfortable doing it. We just don't bring them in like this. We talk to them and explain them the situation. Look, Grandpa or Grandma is sick, and this is what's happened. Would you like to say goodbye to them or say hello to them? Because you never know how long they're going to be here.
Yeah.
And some people would love it. And I had a case where the grandmother didn't talk a word, and all of a sudden she says, "Oh, my beautiful grandchild, I love you. Sam, you made my day."
Yeah.
We couldn't, for the last 3 weeks, not one word. All of a sudden, it meant so much to the daughter, she started to cry out of joy. And this grandchild loved, she started and kissed her, and then she wrote a beautiful note to Grandma, I love you.
Yeah.
And they pasted on, even she misspelled the name,
Yeah.
And we didn't say a word. Each case is different, but we always make sure that the children are comfortable.
Yeah.
Because not everyone can handle it.
Yeah, that's, I was curious about that.
Yes.
So, well, tell us more about these kind of situations.
For example, I just had a case where the family members, when I came in, they told me that this lady is a missionary. And I said, boy, I have to go to missionary lady. I think I need prayers myself. What is she going to do? She's going to. So I was there, I talked to her. She's an elderly lady, very nice. And I asked her, tell me about yourself. What would you like to do? She looked at me and smiled. She says, the first time someone is asking me what I want to do, they give me freedom. I never heard it a long time. She told me she walked all over the world, all over the different countries. And now, it's not so simple. I'm over 104 years old,
Wow.
Even though she's confused, but she has good moments. And she says, can you make a prayer for me? I said, which kind of prayer? I mean, I don't know, completely the New Testament. I said, any prayer? She says, my favorite prayer is Psalm 23. I said, okay.
That one you know.
This one I know by heart. So she asked me, how come it's universal?
Mm-hmm.
Because I told her that prayer is said on Sabbath, every Sabbath in the synagogue. God, give me extra soul, give me strength. And something else, there's a beautiful line which says, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort you. Thy rod in Hebrew means a stick, but means more than a stick, means my tribe, the tribe of Aaron. The stick of Aaron, it means, look, the stick of Moses, my children. Look at your beautiful children. Then she started to talk. Please wait. My grandson is coming in. He's an artist. You should have seen. This lady, half an hour later, she was a different lady.
Wow, cool.
In the beginning, they told me she's demented. Don't waste your time. So the grandson came over to me and he looks at me. And I said, you have a nice grandma. So he said, of course, we love her. And he showed her what kind of artistic, and she was so proud of him.
Yeah.
I forgot all about it later, and the son calls me and says, Rabbi, I have to see you.
Yeah.
She said, make sure that the Jewish boy, the Hebrew boy, comes to me all the time. I like him. The priest gave me too much prayers. He did what I wanted. Why am I saying it as a rabbi or a minister? It's always good to listen to the needs and the wishes of a patient. Because sometimes you give them autonomy, you give them the time to show them, I'm someone.
Yeah.
And that's very important. Or for example, many times, you have funerals and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And you have one family religious and one family not religious. And you're like in a sandwich. You don't know what, sometimes you're afraid whatever you do, you're going to be in trouble,
Yeah.
I had a family, very interesting family. They haven't talked to each other for 10 years.
Wow.
And the family members, the daughter comes and the son, he asks me, he says, Rabbi, my mom is dying. Her sister hasn't come, her brother hasn't come. What should I do?
Yeah.
I said to her, for peace of the family, you should email her. Mom has a few days or a week to leave, and we'd like to let you know about the situation and where she is, and you're welcome to come or call me. For 3-4 days, they did not call. They didn't email, nothing. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, they decided to call 11 o'clock at night to the daughter. Is it okay? They met peace together. Go figure it out. And not only that, at the funeral, they asked me, can I say a few words? I said, of course. So you never know the dynamics of the family. You can make peace at any time. And to listen.
And on that note, I want to thank you very much, Rabbi Pinchas Eisenbach.
Thank you.
That's a great story. I really appreciate that, of the Midwest Palliative and Hospice Care Center. People would like to contact you.
847-467-7423.
I want to thank all of you for joining me today on the Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Thank you, Sonny Hirsch. Check our website, ntnm.org. Show up at your community policing meeting. And all the best in your excellent work.
Thank you.